What's happening, YouTube? Blair McKeithen here, representing Formula Golf, out here at Bernardo Heights Country Club in Rancho Bernardo, California, a county town of San Diego. I'm out here going to get my fourth or fifth lesson with Adam Porzak. As I mentioned in my last couple videos with the What's in the Bags with Tommy and Cameron Sisk, we all share the same coach. Started going to Adam about 2.5 months ago and seen a lot of improvement in the game, so I'm going to film a little bit of what he's going to be teaching me today, and hopefully get even better today than I was last week.
So when I watch golfers, and I watch the greatest golfers on the planet, let's go with Sam Snead.
Yeah.
He used to play with the club face 3 to 4 degrees open to start out with, because what does it do? The face is right. It sure as heck encourages rotation this way, which is a good thing. Being able to rotate and not the fear of missing it dead left.
Yeah.
For great golfers, that's a big thing.
That is absolutely.
So when you walk down the range, I'm not the coach who's sitting here telling you, oh hey, Porzak's saying he should open the club face every single time. I'm just saying it should never be shut.
Right.
Unless we're hitting a banana ball around a tree, and when we're using path and face angle to kind of dictate what we're trying to accomplish, right? Hey, we're going to go around that red flag. I want to end up at the blue. Let's get that face pointed over towards that blue. Let's swing in the direction of our feet, more out around that red flag. By all means, then you can preset that face being shut. But for minimal shots, such as 3-yard drop, 2-yard fade, a little to the right and left. I mean, I'm pretty much hitting those with a pretty square club face, if not a degree or two open.
Okay.
I'm even for my draws. I mean, I'm just kind of personally, and a lot of our better players, and I've not seen anybody ever preset the face shut.
Right.
Preset the face shut.
It would be like.
It encourages this.
Right.
Up and out of it. For a guy like you, if you get through it the right way, I mean, dude, you're going to cook that thing so far over there.
Yeah.
You talked about distance control being a little bit off. I just happen to be behind you, watching you when I'm working with Jim over here, and I'm thinking, my face was looking like this, under my legs like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sitting there thinking, dude.
I think
even if you do the right thing, like I know you're going to do, that thing is going to be down and shut. And just
exactly. All of a sudden, my 7-iron turns into a 6-iron, and I'm hitting it, 190.
And then all of a sudden you're on a flyer line. That's going to turn into even more.
Super gun. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like for instance, I played Lacoste yesterday, and I had a pitching wedge from 148 on one hole, and I airmailed the green by like 15 yards.
And that should never happen.
Yeah, and I was like, "Wait, how did that happen?"
No, yeah, exactly. Do you want to hear something? Beautiful though?
Okay.
Come on over here on the side, and I'll kind of get it in line with the camera here so you can see this. A person who sets up with the face square. Yeah, that's one thing if the club is 90 degrees. But people who keep that face dead square like this, and I start seeing that Golf Pride logo turning over like that.
Right.
People think that that's still square because the face is pointed there. If I stuck a tee to that face, it's still pointing at my target. That is not square. Because watch what happens when I leave that face there and then bring it back to 90. That face is now that shut. So people who press it forward and keep the face like that, that's a massive misconception that I see wrong amongst most golfers. I always believe that you should not just be at 90, it should be a couple degrees forward, gets a little bit of the hinge and everything started in the golf swing. I've been a big fan of that. But the reality is, if you watch it, the best in the world will typically understand that that is still square. Because if I brought it back to 90, look at that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It does.
So if you look at that right there, but then I put it right there, it's square. And then plus I'm rotating in this direction. I don't want anything favoring that ball going more left of what my rotation is already accomplished.
So are you seeing something like that in my my setup? It's kind of like
I'm
this?
seeing you press it. I'm seeing that Golf Pride logo starting to get a little bit counterclockwise over like that.
Okay.
And we're almost de-lofting the golf club and shutting it a couple degrees left. Okay. And we're sitting here trying not to come out of golf shots and rotate that. That's defeating everything we're doing before you've ever pulled the trigger.
Absolutely.
And you know me. I'm always trying to get to the gnats behind of exactly why things are happening. Do you like that for the camera, by the way?
That's good.
Yeah. So
Gnats behind. Adam Porzak special right there.
Yeah, we're not gonna cuss with the kids today. But no, the big thing about it is we're just trying to make sure that everything for you checks out before you pull the trigger.
Okay.
When I think fade and I think you tipping that ball too right, well, we sure as heck should never have our feet right of the target.
Right.
We sure as heck should never have the club face shut. Those two things should be rules right away.
Right.
And the ball should never be back in the stance.
All right.
The path will be more left, down the line of your feet, and that face should be more open.
Let me put the camera over here, and then we'll get a couple on the side.
Now, Now, what's interesting is the first one of the day, then just goes right.
Yeah.
But it made nothing but sense because you just gave me the rotation that would have had to hit it straight with a shut face.
Right.
Which was totally up and at it.
That makes sense. So I need to be more...
Right shoulder firing towards the target. Quick example. Now, to start off the day, what we saw was immediately when I showed up, the face was shut in your hands, right? Just kind of in this position. As a result, I talked about how the body was going to have to then go back this way to make the path more in to out in order to cater that shut club face. Really a bummer for a guy who we're trying to use the rotation of our body to really square the club face up. Through rotation and through connection with our hands and our body and golf club, that right there squares the face up through impact. Now, we talked about for a guy who's hitting fade, if anything, we should make sure to not have the face shut. We should make sure to not have our feet right.
Right.
So immediately we get the face more square. Well, then guess what? First shot of the day, what does it do?
It went right.
It went dead right because you backed out of it with the open club face, and the ball went dead in the direction that you were swinging with the face pointed over there.
Correct.
Now, the next one I said, well, dude, hold on a second here. Now we can actually get our right shoulder pointed at the target, and if we do that, that is going to get, that's pure rotation. That's going to square the club face up. So a good drill sometimes, you can see I have that face a couple degrees open, right? Which is it really? If I pull it back to 90, it's dead square there.
Right.
It's really not. Just a little forward press. You can see right there, right shoulder right to the target.
Right.
Shot right on line.
Right.
Now,
everything was dead straight.
Exactly. So my whole point to today, let's take care of the things, the little checkpoints, the gnats behind of what can go wrong, right?
Yeah.
Setup.
Yeah.
Hips over ankles. Shoulders. Past toes. Playing golf underneath us, not playing golf around us.
Yeah.
That's number one. That's going to get your path straighter before you even pulled the trigger and swung the golf.
Right.
Number two is going to be using the connection of the hands and the body throughout the swing and the body's rotation to square the club face up. So what we're going to be doing right now is we're going to be, if anything, in 3 or 4 left of our target.
Okay.
Club face will not be shut. Will be square, if not a degree open.
Okay.
And you are going to get that right shoulder firing to the target. And as a result, the body's rotation is going to quiet that club face down through impact, and you're not going to have to manipulate
You don't have any fear, it's just
exactly.
go.
No fear of left. Rotating more left to not hit it left.
Sounds good by me.
How about that, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Throwing punches not off your back foot, throwing them right into your front foot and having the weight go into it. You got it, buddy.
Oh, how good is
that? That is just a beautiful thing right there.
I can mess with I can mess with that that swing thought.
I can sit back here and watch that for a while, no problem. Not be stressed out at all. Oh, unbelievable.
That one was good.
So good right there.
I got straight myself out. That's why I hit you up on Tuesday last week. I was like, man, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, which is really good. I just need to be patient, obviously. But like for a second, I was like, dude, I don't even know what I'm doing, and I couldn't help but think that it had to have been
something
this. Yeah, dude, either setup or and it's keeping me. Because I felt like I had to manipulate the club to get to checkpoint 1 instead of using my big muscles, you know?
Right. I mean, and the reality is, you know, checkpoint 1, right? We got to keep this real simple. You know, we get in here, we hook this onto the back of our feet right there, or a golf club, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
And we're just feeling the center of our body in our hands. Move that golf club back there. So if I was shaking somebody's hand that was holding their hand right down the line of my feet, it'd be very rude if I just went like this. Hey, Blair, nice to meet you.
Right.
What about if I engage and say, hey Blair, nice to meet you?
Yeah.
That's really where we're going to be right there. And that's the money spot. That presets impact right there. I can rotate right back to that, and I'm right where I need to be. From this angle here, checkpoint 1, boom, right into the left side and square.
Yeah.
So if we find that we were back in here or out here, or, what? No. I should be able to put that golf ball right here, hit checkpoint 1, rotate, and have that golf ball go in a dead straight direction of where I am. That's a great checkpoint for your takeaway, by the way.
Yeah.
What I just did. I put the golf club at checkpoint 1, rotated with no manipulation, ball goes dead down the line of where the line's aimed.
And you'd call that a forever drill.
And I call that a forever drill.
So
you always hear me say those forever drills.
That kind of drill, or especially that drill, would apply to almost virtually everybody, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, most people, if you're taking it underneath your checkpoint one, and like you said, if you rotate it, what's the club going to do?
Well, there you go.
This,
so
right?
let's just kind of give it a little example here, right? So if I get in here, and I'm back in here, and I rotate with no manipulation.
Look at that, goes dead right.
Out to the right.
And if you go up to too steep.
If I go out here.
Look at that.
Right? I mean, that's not what we're looking for. And as you can see, let me do it correctly once again, and now get right on line with this line that we have here, this checkpoint 1.
Yeah, dead straight.
No manipulation, right? You see the face just stays right with me the whole time. There's none of this past the golf ball, and no separation of our hands and our body through the ball. It's not this to save it.
Correct.
It's simply, wait, hold on. Just keep moving these two together, and that face stays with you the whole way.
And that's the dream spot right there.
That's the dream spot, you know. And the beautiful thing about checkpoint 1 is we're also getting a better angle of attack. We're not just, you know, in here you can see, I mean, my goodness, I'm going to scrape everything on the way to the golf ball.
Mm-hmm.
I always say there's a professional thin shot and there's an amateur thin shot. The amateur thin shot could be chunky or thin. The professional thin shot descends on it, catches it a groove low, because the angle of attack is actually so good that if anything it was swinging too far ahead of the golf ball, never going to have the opportunity to bottom out behind it or miss the ground and raise up into it. The low point should always be a good 2, 3, 4 inches past that golf ball.
Love it. I'll put on a couple swings and see if I can get it on camera, me hitting checkpoint 1.
It's beautiful, man. And you see how just straight that ball comes off the club face right there?
I mean, it's essentially the feel through the ball that we want on the big swing.
Yeah, and all that is right there, Blair, is that club just gets a little behind you, you know?
Right.
And that's the one thing. It starts off to where I can see it from here, where it's lifted up here and it's just behind your body.
Yeah, that's what's killing me, man.
Keep that off. You know, one thing that you'll see, you know, for me, it's very important here. On the way down to the golf ball, I really make sure my hands and arms almost essentially feel like they start my downswing. 1.
Yeah, you get a lot more speed from the top.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing about that was for me, I felt there as if the outside horse was going to start before the inside horse started, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing that this has less distance to travel around the track. This has a lot farther to go. The one thing you never want to do is get that inside horse running and have no awareness of this guy also running with you. So just making sure the hands are moving with the body. And
I would say that's been the toughest for me to fully do, because I've spent pretty much my whole life with firing really fast, club behind, and then kind of catching up.
It's an extremely mistaught thing. You know, we hear some of the greats talk about how the hips fire and the arms are just along for the ride. Well, yeah, practice enough and find your sequence and understand that the pace of your hands is far faster than the rotation of your hips in order to make that possible.
Right.
If these guys just drift behind, that is a recipe for a shank every single time.
Yeah.
See, that was just perfect sequence right there.
Yeah, that one was nice.
And that's what, here's the thing, as far as your lesson today and what you need to get out of today, you need to make sure that you back your toes up and don't get too upright.
Okay.
Back the toes up, give yourself some space, make sure the club face is square, and then let's get back to just club in front of you, meaning it's just with you and connected. Accelerate your hands.
Right.
Do not let your hips beat your hands to the golf ball.
Done. That is the goal. And I felt like I was probably getting a little bit too more like this too.
It was, for sure.
Really mess up my setup a lot.
See, dude, that's just so pretty. I watch you do that and I think, let's go all day long.
I know, right?
All day. But stay consistent. Understand one of those forever thoughts in golf, not even just a forever drill. Sequencing of the golf swing and what you personally have to feel like in order to accomplish that.
Right.
I mean, it's not just as simple as turn, turn. Well, it's not.
It's not, because
It's not.
everyone has individual feels that
Right.
put them in certain positions, you know?
Yeah, I mean, listen, man, I'm not a big, I'm a pretty short little dude, man. Like, for me, it's like a little easier to stay connected. The outside horse is not as far away from the inside horse, you know? It's more right there. But, man, I teach some boys, big boys, 6'5", 6'6", guys like Jordan DeBriggy. Those are some of the beautiful golfers I've ever seen in my life. This guy, I mean, that outside horse has to run like 8 feet around the track, and the inside horse only running 8 inches.
Right.
I mean, you got to basically, I stay super connected going back. And sometimes, you know, the arms and hands have to feel as if, like Tiger in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
Well, he's the first one to say it, you know? He felt like he was doing this.
Yeah.
But the reality is, you look on camera, I'd be like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And
So-
that's virtually where I'm at. I mean, that's what I gotta.
The best coaches in the world don't just have a method and they stick with it and they plug it away.
Right.
They can match the swing up that works the best for you, but more importantly, we have definitely a mold of what it should be close to or what it should be like. But the coach that can give you the personal feeling that you need to feel in order to achieve a motion that might be similar to 18 other, 14 other, you know, pros out there, they could all be thinking something differently to get there.
Right.
It's not just as simple as boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I like to think of it as simple as, hey, hips over ankles, shoulders past toes, hit checkpoint 1, hands and body turn together to the top, and go through it. There's no doubt that that is at least a blueprint for an awesome swing that stays very structured.
Right.
But man, let me tell you, if I had to tell you sometimes on certain days how far I have to feel like my hands swing ahead of my body just to get back connected with me. Now, we try to not have to feel that as much with the fact that my arms aren't racing at the top without my body turning. That's why you hear me so adamantly talk about hands and body together. When the body's done turning, the arms are done swinging. Okay? When the body's done turning, I'm using my body, using whatever it is, my left shoulder to push the club back to get the golf club to the top.
Yeah.
Once it's there, I'm already connected and I have the best chance to stay that way throughout my swing. But man, I teach a lot of ladies who don't have the necessarily the core or the shoulder strength even to just hope that when they go like this, that that's going to catch up. It just buckles by their side. It's way behind their hips and what? Right?
Right.
What are your hands doing at impact is what's going to happen. And you don't want that. You
Yeah.
want to be connected. And connected.
I mean, the best players in the world are all connected. I mean, Molinari's extremely connected.
Extremely connected. And what he has to feel to do that might not be as simple as
exactly.
just turn.
His feel is probably completely different than mine.
Absolutely.
Mine would ever be, you know what I
Right.
mean? Or the next guy, or the next guy, or the next guy.
So our job together, and my job, and our job to, you know, to even the viewers, you know, is to be able to explain that everybody has. It's one thing to look at the mold. One thing to look at, hey, I'd love to see my swing more in the direction of Adam Scott's. Who wouldn't?
Right.
But the reality is, what is it that you have to do, or what are some ideas that can get you there? And then more importantly, us working together as a team, what are you feeling now? You just did it. You just did it on those last 3 swings. What was the feel? What was the feel, right? That's the most important thing. That right there is more important than anything that I said. I gave you the idea that, hey, dude, we're back a little bit on the heels. Here's the easy tip right here. Come on, back the toes up and let's get more over the golf ball.
Right.
Let's keep the club in front of us. Let's keep it connected. But on the way down, I verbalized it like, hey, your arms need to be accelerating ahead of your body.
Yeah.
It worked out perfectly, but whatever you felt was what the thought should be.
Yeah.
And that's more about, you know, the more we can think here and less fear, the better we all are going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
The better we all are going to be.
Minimize that thing, that brain movement.
You got it, buddy.
I'll hit one more, and then we'll do an interview after this lesson gets over, and we'll get a little bit deeper into Adam's mind, his who he's teaching at the moment right now, and his goals in also teaching. So let's see if I can put one more good swing on it.
What a beautiful swing, dude. Gorgeous.
You couldn't get any straighter than that. All right, let's finish out this lesson. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that video of me hitting some golf balls. I just want to give a quick little interview to Adam Porzak. Like I said earlier, my new coach. He's a great guy. I've known you for, what, 10 years now?
Absolutely.
When I first turned pro, Adam was actually the best player. Him and a fellow named Jeff Hart, who made millions of dollars playing golf for a living. It was Adam and Jeff Hart were the best 2 pros when I first turned pro. So it was really cool to kind of be able to reach out to a player, a fellow really good golfer, to help build your game, build your confidence. And that's what I like the most about Adam, is when I get done with the lesson, I feel more confident than you can ever believe. And it's really helped myself and a lot of his other players. I mean, I'm sure Cam will say the same thing. You mentioned when you started teaching, you started with Bo Hostler.
Started with Bo Hostler. He was literally my first student, and you know, it was pretty. Hey, I think it was lucky for me. Lucky for him too, though, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You know, we helped build each other's career. It was great. It was a fantastic opportunity to work with a great golfer. Through him, working with him, guys like Jordan DeBriggy, Lee McCoy, Walker Cuppers, just beautiful golf swings, and it's really helped me. Working with a guy like Bo was sensational because he's so strong mentally. To be able to work with a guy like that has helped me get to the next level because, you know, I'm seeing what the best are doing, and being able to pass that along to the younger generation. We talked about it. It wouldn't be fair to sit here and go through all the players' names because so many deserve a shout out. Great players on the Canadian Tour. We have 2 wins on the Canadian Tour this year.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, and the web.com guys, and getting guys tour status on the PGA with starting the year with no status. I mean, that's incredible stuff that we've been able to accomplish. But as you said, I think it comes from having lived the life a little bit, knowing what you guys are feeling, and knowing what you guys are thinking about, knowing the playable swing thoughts, and knowing also, you know, the playable swing thoughts. What can you handle under the gun? You know, I think that's really the best way to say it. There's stuff to be worked on here sometimes. We try to make it as little technical as possible. I think too many instructors these days are trying so hard to show people how much they know. I try to show the student how little they need to know in order to be fantastic.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah,
I think it's great. I mean, honestly, my game has improved a lot since we've met, and I'm looking forward to, you know, building up to hopefully get to the PGA Tour one day through someone who has brought people there. So it's a big confidence booster. He's one of 50 guys in the, what is it, 50 pros
in the world that teach guys on the PGA Tour. Yeah. So, you know, I just want to tell you that expect a lot from this guy. He's a great guy, you know, and we just, as we work, we need to just consistently keep hitting our checkpoints. We need to keep massaging the mind a little bit and making sure that week to week you're staying present, staying in it. And we just talked about, you know, when you're on the mini tours, it is a full grind. Yeah. It's a grind, you know. You're playing, you're sometimes shooting extremely low, not to win a lot, but you're winning experience, and it's important that that's gained all the time. My recommendation for guys like this, put your money into events that can lead to something. You play the mini tour events in between events to keep you sharp, but don't get caught out there all year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Move to the Mondays. Get to the Mondays. Start making those 65s count, right?
Yeah, and I have some big announcements when it comes to that coming up soon. But one last final question here, Adam. I want to do, I get the vibe from you that you have a goal in teaching, that you want to be one of, if not the best coach in the world one day. And that is a big thing for me, which is the reason why I stuck with you a lot after the first lesson, is because I believe that in order for you to become the best coach, you have an investment in your players to become the best players in the world as well.
That's the thing. I'm graded on how well you guys play.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's one thing for, you know, you to come to a lesson and stripe it. Everybody comes to our lessons and stripes it. We have a blast being lucky enough to be able to do that for people. But it's all about results.
That's right.
Results. You come to the Porzak Golf Academy, myself and Mike Pitt, we work extremely hard on making sure that you don't just feel good when you leave, but you're watching yourself succeed when it counts. My personal goal, I mean, hey, Butch has quite a few majors. I sure as heck would like to have more majors than him when it's said and done. How do I get there? Through you guys playing great golf. I'd love to be in the Golf Hall of Fame, but that comes from getting my players in the World Golf Hall of Fame. And so
that means a lot. I mean, honestly, I don't think coaches have that kind of investment in their students enough, and that's what makes you unique out of almost every coach I've met, to be honest with you. So, guys, be sure to check out Adam Porzak's wonderful Instagram. He has a lot of his students on there, and there's a lot of tips and instruction. And I think we're going to try to start doing some a little bit collaborations with some YouTube channels. I'd like to get Adam started in some YouTube channels as well to kind of build up confidence in not only his players who he teaches now, but other players who get from the outside looking in. And if you ever get a chance to come in San Diego, this is the guy to call.
I appreciate it, buddy. But we keep golf fun. You'll see that on our Instagram page. We just opened it up a couple months back. We keep golf fun. We just want people to understand there's easy ways to get some simple things accomplished out there. Simplicity is a big thing. It's one of our big hashtags. You know, what we always work on is just drills, some easy little things that help people get a lot accomplished. We post things that are relevant to everybody, not just one person. And you can really it's just educational, and it keeps you keeping tabs on our players, which we really like to have.
Yeah, it's definitely really cool to see. So,
yeah.
guys, be sure to check that out. Thanks again for watching. Always remember, you as well, Adam, keep on grinding.
Keep on grinding.